spicy one. It's a spicy episode talking all things beginner new seasons and what to do when you have like that unhelpful commentary from somebody like off to the side who's just observing what you're doing. It's going to be so good. And I hope when you walk away from today's episode that there are a couple of things that'll stick with you that you can use as almost tools or weapons whenever you're in a beginner new season, because we've all been there. Those seasons when you're trying something new, maybe starting a new journey or a new habit, maybe you're transitioning into a new space or into a new season of life. Whenever we dive into new, we inevitably become beginners again. And beginning seasons are uncomfy, y'all. To be present in something that you deeply desire to be great at, all while sitting in the reality that you're not great yet, is really freaking uncomfortable. If you've been following along with me lately, you know I'm in a beginner season all over again with my business. I've been sharing that a lot here, but we are also diving into beginner transition seasons in our home life too. If you missed it, I announced that Hubs and I are moving to Florida while he takes on a new job. And y'all, it's exciting, it's fresh, it's new, and it's also uncomfortable because we're beginners again as we transition into a new space, place, and season. And a friend of mine recently in passing minimized my beginner season. And you guys, probably not on purpose. I'm giving, everyone the benefit of the doubt. But her words made my effort and business seem small, like cute. You know, when someone says that and you're like, oh, that's cute. And like there's other people out there doing greater things than you. It was hard to hear someone I like minimize this season I'm in, because man, I was wishing for a tribe of humans that would rally, support, cheer me on in all this newness. Isn't that what we all want? But sadly, I want to tell you that that's often not what happens. And if you're in a new season or a beginner season and you're really excited about wherever you're going, whatever habit you're starting or whatever you're starting new and fresh, it can feel like a big blow when those moments happen where someone that you so deeply wanted to rally with you makes a side comment that tends to make you think they think what you're doing is silly or small. But here's the deal. I know from a lifetime of trying that if you're not on the field with me, you don't get to have an opinion. I have this analogy I love to use when I'm working towards something that matters that I think will resonate with you too today. I think about NFL football teams, and here's the deal. I'm not really like a big NFL football fan, but I can visualize this, and I hope you can too. And so I think of the many layers of each individual team. So there's going to be players on the field, right? They're the ones practicing, trying, showing up, making tweaks to their gameplay, getting better at their craft day after day. And that's you when you're showing up and doing meaningful work and moving in the direction you desire in this new beginner season. And then you have the people on the sidelines. These are like the coaches, the support staff, cheerleaders, bench players ready to rally. They get a front row seat to the effort it takes on that field. And they're also in the trenches with that team, fully supporting, fully invested. These are those tight, close few that will rally with you, encourage you, give you sound feedback if needed, and also showing up because they believe that what you're doing is meaningful too. If you're lucky in those seasons to have that kind of people in your life, like the ones right on the sideline with you, cling tightly to them. But if we pan out a little bit further, so we've got the field with the players, that's you doing your work. There's the sideline crew rallying there, supporting their gems, okay? And then you pan out a little further, and these are your ticket holders. They're in the stadium, right? These are your fans. They're cheering and watching. They're wanting to be close to the action and supporting the players, you, on that field. These people also are gems in your life. Maybe not the ones that are on the field with you doing the work, but they're supporting you nonetheless. And here's the deal. If you pan out even further, like way further, you're going to have what I call nacho eaters. These are fun. These are the ones who are at home. They're not even in the stadium on game day, y'all. You're on the field doing the work. People around you supporting you. Even more people rallying and cheering with you. And then outwardly, we have nacho eaters. They're at home, watching on their screens, sitting on their couch, not doing much of anything, but observing and criticizing through a screen, eating nachos. Be careful about the nacho eaters, you guys. They will sound the loudest at times. Nacho eaters are the loudest, okay? But they're nothing but a distraction from what you're doing. Don't allow their fear to fill you or their own doubts to make you question if you have what it takes, because it takes courage to start something new. And this is where it gets really spicy today, you guys. You can't possibly know that courage if you're sitting on your couch criticizing and judging someone through a screen. You only know that type of courage if you're on the field. So I don't take advice from the people who aren't on the field doing the work, simply because they can't possibly have a clue as to what it takes. And you have to protect yourself in beginner seasons, friends. It's a vulnerable space to be. One doubting statement, one minimizing comment, it could destroy all the courage you've built up. Acknowledge who those people are in your life that you'd call a nacho eater, and put boundaries in place to protect that tiny seed of a new thing you're trying to build and grow. I've watched women and mentored and supported women in their lives to go after their dreams and build lives they freaking love. And it's always the naysayers. It's always the doubters. It's always the people who have that one snarky comment, the nacho eaters, that I've watched women allow them to get in their heads and stop them from doing the thing that they deeply desire to do. So you have to protect that seed of an idea. You have to protect that tiny seed of a habit. You know, even like Thanksgiving dinner, right? I've got women in my life who they'll work really hard at something. They're working on a new health and wellness goal, and you've probably been there. And then you get to Thanksgiving dinner and someone has something to say, and it just kind of like ruins all that work that you were putting in, because all you desire is for someone to just acknowledge how amazing it is that you're working on being the best version of yourself. But they're not all going to do that, my friends. And so you have to put those boundaries in place and protect so hard that tiny seed of a new thing you're trying to build and grow in this season. Okay, one more hot take on being a beginner, because I'm feeling extra spicy today. Whatever your beginner season is, whether you're in a new season of motherhood, adjusting to a new position at work, maybe embarking on a health journey where this time you actually want to make it stick, entering married life, or creating the vision that's laid on your heart, I want you to know this. You might not be good at what you're doing. You might not have a lot of likes, followers, views, comments, supporters. You might not have a 10-step plan fully laid out. You might not have the patience or kindness you desire to be the person you want to be in this season. And you might not be disciplined or consistent, but there's a word I'd add on to every single one of those statements, and then some, that someone observing, judging, giving, minimizing remarks just can't see. And the word is yet. You might not be good at what you're doing yet, but every time you show up, you're getting better. You might not have a lot of likes, followers, views, comments, supporters yet, but if you're authentically building something you believe in, the right people will come. You might not have a 10-step plan fully laid out yet, but you can show up and do the next best thing today. You might not have the patience and kindness you desire yet, but you can apologize and grow and open up your heart to doing life and family different than maybe you were modeled. You might not be disciplined or consistent yet, but every time you show up and put in the reps, you're building that muscle of discipline and consistency. So, spicy episode, in and out real quick, you guys. But brush off those comments. Breathe out the naysayers, because there will always be nacho eaters. In my life, I promise you I've got nacho eaters, okay? That just means you're doing something impressive enough that others are taking notice. I'm going to say that again. There will always be nacho eaters, and all that means is you're doing something impressive enough that others are taking notice. Be grateful for the nacho eaters. It means you're on the right track. In order to get to where you desire to go, you have to keep showing up. You have to keep trying. You have to get back up when you fall down. And my friends, soak in this beginner season. So many people tell me time and time again, they just want to rush to the end goal. But this is part of the process. Enjoy the beginner season, Because if there's anything I've proved to myself over and over again in my life, is that the more I show up and try, the more chances I have of looking like a sudden success to that outside world, to all those nacho eaters. And the same is true for you. All right, friends, that's all I got today. Short, sweet, to the point, a little bit spicy. I hope this was a breath of fresh air for you. If you are in any sort of beginner season, transitioning into a new role, into a new space, maybe you're just transitioning what you thought you wanted to do with your life to trying something new. And my friends, just keep showing up, just keep trying, ignore and put boundaries around those nacho eaters, and just keep putting in the reps, because you're going to look back one day, you're going to look back and you're going to say that you were so freaking proud that you never gave up. All right, friends, I will see you next week, same place, same time. And in the meantime, keep taking care of yourself, because the world needs you to be the best version of you.